So I went to one hospital, and then I went to another hospital, and they turned me away. And because if I take my shirt off, I have one thing, funny joke, you guys will like this. What's the difference between a Mexican and Jesus?
What?
Jesus doesn't get Mexicans tattooed on him.
Welcome back to another episode of The Careful Boys, where we are still hanging on the edge of our seats here with Mr. Paul Gomez.
Come on.
So I was saying, so we're in Australia, and I've made this really good deal, and we've by this time Aaron sold it, we're just on a roll, right? It's just it's so cool, and I'm watching all my friends do all these amazing things, but Nike's really starting to tell a different story that I'm not resonating with. And then I found myself being in meetings where I was being excommunicated from the meetings. So I was like that guy who was like, we're gonna do what? It's a terrible idea, right? And I was like, oh, we're gonna do this. I'm like, why? That's it's just stay in your lane, do what you're good at. And then we started doing stuff that was super not in our lane. So I was in Australia, and everyone thinks when you get bought by Nike that you have Nike money. You don't. You're on your own P&L. You have to hit your own numbers. You have to do everything everything right. And one year we lost a lot of money, and Bob and I flew to Nike to fire ourselves because we lost all this money. And Tom Clark's like, you just got Nike, guys, don't do that again, go this. So I went around the world and opened all these offices. The next year I went around and fired everybody. I was a black flag. It sucked. So, but we got back on track. So that being said, fast forward, I'm making this deal in Australia. It's a huge deal. And I get a phone call. I'm at the festival. If you've ever been to the Festival of Lights, it's insane. It's in Sydney Harbor where it's like an art show, but it's all lights through the Sydney Harbor. And I'm with the Prime Minister or whoever it is. I'm at this dinner, and we're everything's happening. I get this phone call, hey, we're backing out on the Australian Open. I'm like, no, we're not. Oh yeah, we don't have them. Nike doesn't want in. They're going to not put their money in. And I'm like, oh. Well, that's too bad because I'm still going. And then they go, well, you can't go. I go, I'm the CMO, dude. I can sign the paperwork. Sign the paperwork and let them. I was it was gnarly. I just hung up the phone. It's just I'm going for it. So I just went for it. And then I was and I called Bob and I'm like, hey. He's all, I signed the paperwork. And I go, dude, I've got 30 years of relationships. I've been going to Australia. At one point, Nike asked, that's when things started getting weird for me because Nike asked me to go around Australia. And I told him no. I'm like, I'm not going to move. My kids are in high school. I'm not going to move them to Australia. So I was I made the deal, but I didn't have the money. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm like, I'm going to go meet with Gordon. So remember, we broke off.
Who's Gordon?
Gordon's the founder of Billabong, like I told in the beginning. Okay. So when we broke off from Gordon, that was an ugly experience.
Yeah, because he was trying to take all of his guys.
Too, right? Yeah, he took our guy. It was bad. It was bad. It was and I'm like, I don't know who to call, right? But they're only a surfer knows a feeling, and we're Microphone for Youth, and we're wouldn't work with Quicksilver was on their heels. So, and I went to Gordon's daughter's wedding, Astra, and it was I was still friends with his daughter, and because we worked together forever, and Gordon and I didn't. So I just call him up and hey, so what's up? And I'm like, I want to come meet with you. He's all, for what? I got to talk to you in person. He's like, okay. So I go up to him, hey, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. I think Billabong and Hurley should come together. We can totally knock Quicksilver on their ass right now. We should do this together.
Sounds like Game of Thrones, but with
surfers.
The top dog.
It was gnarly, dude. It was so heavy. Because he could have just told me no, and then I would have really been in a world of hurt. Because I would have been like, okay, now who do I call? Right? So,
Weezer.
No, but it was because
say it ain't.
Because by that
Osiris.
By that time, Nike told me I had to pull out of the Vans Warped Tour, and that was kind of starting to be the fall of everything for me because I've been a Vans guy forever, right? And I couldn't wear Vans, couldn't do this, couldn't do it. Luckily, we bought Converse so I could wear Chuck Taylors because they're sick. But it was that all happened, and then Steve Van Doren's like, well, why? And he goes, we don't care. And I'm like, I can't be part of the Vans Warped Tour anymore. And we started, I was day one, and it's so then it starts happening again. You can't do this. I'm just dude, really? I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it. So so I signed that deal, and our CEO at the time goes, you should be fired. I'm like, well, fire me. well, fire me. And he goes, when are you coming home? Coming back? I'm, well, I got to go close the deal. So I go to Gordon. He's like, you go talk to this guy, this other guy, Flinno, who's in. So I fly to the Gold Coast and I break it down for him. Well, hey, this is how we're going to do it. We can put quick serve on the heels. People will never see it coming. Blah, 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 blah. Make this whole plan. Crazy plan. Billabong's we're in. We'll do it with you. I'm like, okay. So I fly back and I'm already in hot water. And I'm like, this sucks, but whatever. So then I go back to Australia because we're going to make the announcement. And so all the team, like Mark Akalupo, premiered his movie last night, very famous world champion surfer. Like, I was his team manager and worked with him. And then when we parted ways, we never talked again. Like a lot of the Billabong guys, world champions, we never talked again. So then we were in Manly Beach at this crazy hotel, and we have all worldwide press there. And it's like what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Like, and it was like, so you had Mick Fanning, world champion, Steph Gilmore, world champion, Bart Lynch, world champion, like Mark Ockel, like Lane, all the world champions of Australia sitting there. And they dropped the thing, Billabong, Hurley, Australian Open of surfing. Just like insane. Like, and all the pro surfers like giving these speeches. Like Mark starts crying. He's like, dude, there was like a divorce. It was super terrible. And it was like, now we're friends again. It's like, I'm so excited to work with these people together. It was like global news. Like it went big. Like everyone's like, dude, Billabong and Hurley came together. Because nobody does that, right? No, like it'd be like Nike and Adidas coming together.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that'd explode.
So I brokered that deal, and then I got back, and I went to the Gold Coast, and I was working with those guys. And my whole thing is, in any podcast that any person who worked for me knows, it's like when the waves are good, we'll work later. Like a million podcasts. Oh, I work for Paul Gomez. Anytime the waves are good, we work later. Like I've been in meetings. The wind turn it off. We're gonna go. We'll come back and work till midnight. Like it's good. We're out of here.
Surfing comes first.
Always. That's why we do this, right? Yeah. Everything that I always try to tell people, anything I'm doing, I want to do it because I want to have fun, right? And then I was like, it was becoming not fun, right? I started having that Happy Gilmore moment where I should kick my own ass for looking that way. So it was like I'm on the Gold Coast and I'm with these guys, all the Billabong guys who some are new, some are guys I knew from years ago, and it was like, dude, the waves are good, let's go surf. And I was like scoring and working till like 2 or 3 in the morning, just banging it out. I come back and I go to Nike and like I'm an executive in the game, and I'm like, I go to the guys, I'm like, dude, look at how sick these waves are, and everyone's all just like, I'm all, oh shit, I'm that guy.
Look how sick these waves are. Everyone's in a suit.
Yeah, I was all, oh shit, I'm that guy. I'm that guy I swore I'd never be. Never be and then so I call my lawyer, and I'm in Nike, and I call my lawyer, and I'm all, hey, these people have been pursuing me. Look at these deals, blah, 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 whatever. So he looks at all the deals. He's always the worst one with the most upset. I'll tell him I want to meet with them on Thursday. So I got back, met with them. They go, we'll hire you right now. Done. So I go into my office. So I'm in so Bob, Roger, myself, and then our executive. So we have this executive office. Like I have like a chopper in my office. Like it's like this crazy big office. And I walk into Roger's office. I'm like, hey. He's like, I know I said a lot of stuff, and I didn't realize it was going to be this big. Like it's this huge news, this, that, and there. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm resigning. And he was just like, I'm totally, and he has an English accent, and then he said, I'm totally unprepared for this conversation without an English accent. And I was like, oh, like what happened? I was like,
he made a reboot.
Dude, it was like full weird. It was super weird.
Turned American all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was weird. And then I was like,
a glitch in the matrix.
But maybe he was just so caught off guard.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you call Bob. I go, why would I call Bob? I report to you. I don't report to Bob. I report to you. I report to Nike, and I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. And he's just like, Bob calls me, and he's like, what's going on? I go, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not who I am. I don't believe in where we're going. It's rad for you guys, but it's not who I am. Like that's just not who I am. And that goes back to like a Lou Aldane story. So Lou invites me. I go to Laker games and hang out with Lou, and they would. This is basketball stuff, but they would bench guys so they could have more money to pick up guys down the line, whatever. But it's fully corrupt sports. So
that's why we like betting on them.
So I call Lou. I'm like, hey, I go, I want to come to a game tonight, and Jacob and
that's when they benched the wall for a long
time, right? And so they benched him, And I'm going to come hang out. And he's like, oh, I'm going to bring some friends. He goes, no, only you can come. I'm like, okay.
What up, guys? Come join our Patreon because there's hundreds of videos dating back to 2019.
Support the channel's growth and new ideas.
And tap into the closer community by joining our Discord.
Come chat with me inside, and then you can say funny things to me.
And get the opportunity to suggest new video ideas. Come join our Patreon. Thank you.
Link is in the description box below.
So I come and there's like a full carnival going on, like crazy. And I'm like, what's going on here? And it's like they're retiring Kobe's jerseys. So I'm there and I go there and they give me the jerseys. I'm like, cool. I walk outside and see some kid who's like some little kid who's all stoked. I'm all, here you go. Wow. I gave him the jerseys. And he's in Lou calls me and he goes, who'd you give the jerseys to? Well, some kid on the street. He's like, that's why I invited you because I knew you wouldn't keep them. I goes, I knew you wouldn't sell them. I knew you wouldn't pawn them. I knew you wouldn't do that.
That's why he didn't invite me. I would have kept it for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I was on a plane one time and I was sitting next to a guy named Warren Moon. I don't know who. Do you guys? I didn't. He's like a famous football player, announcer, whatever. So I'm sitting next to him on a plane talking the whole flight, and then I get off the plane. And my friend's like, "Dude, you were sitting next. What was your conversation like with Warren?" I'm like, "How did you guys know his name?" So that's Warren Moon. I'm like, "I don't know who that is." Like, dude, he's famous. I'm like, whatever. Well, my point being is, so I looked at that and I went, I don't want to do that anymore, right? And it was like,
Do what?
do the Nike Hurley thing, and like we had made, there was kind of really no impact after that. Like U.S. Open of surfing, Agenda putting ASR out of business, starting Blink. Like, where do you go from there?
Oh, I see. You
It's
want to
like-
make a big impact.
Yeah, it's like, well, you just want to do things that are going to make change. Right? If you're not going to make change, you just, left, was CEO for a different company for a hot minute, and those guys were just like super lame. And I bailed from there, and then I had Progenics. And then when I got to Progenics, it was like CrossFit was popping off, and I just took a recipe book and went into sports, that fitness space, and blew it up.
That was
When I-
gangster too, because you guys were the first, I think, to make protein out of like salmon and stuff.
Yeah, we just did stuff that was so up, and I was like, we can do whatever we want. Like, who says you can't do this? Who says you can't do that? That's why I make these shirts, because nobody at retail will sell a shirt with a gun on it. Go try to buy, like, Bass Pro Shops used to buy Smith & Wesson t-shirts. They don't sell them anymore.
Really? I do notice that now, but when I was a kid, I would remember.
There'd be guns everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy that stuff. So it was like, so going there, I went, okay, I'm out. Did Progenics, got in the fitness space, was super fun, made a lot of great relationships, blew a lot of people up, like helped people get their stars. Like Miranda, who was my head of marketing, she owns Street Parking now, massively successful. I got to meet Bart. I did everything in my power to make sure that Bart would be who Bart is, and he was already rad as it is. Like talking about like the ice cream, you know, I was like, this dude's so cool. You know, there's any way I could just plug in what I knew to help somebody grow bands or whatever it was, because it's like I came from nothing. I didn't have a handout. I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood. My parents were, you know, alcoholics, and then luckily I had found God earlier in my life, and that kind of kept me on the straight and narrow, right? And just not doing stupid stuff. And then, so 3 years ago, I died.
There was the accident in Mexico, right?
Oh shit.
So I was on a surf trip, and it was really, sorry, Chris, but I'm gonna share the story. So our friend Taylor, who's in the Foo Fighters, had passed away. And my friend Chris is a guitar player for the Foo Fighters. Yeah. And it was like a month later, I'm like, Chris is a great surfer. And I was like, Chris, come on, just, and I know Dave really well. I know Nate, all those guys are my friends. And I'm like, Chris, just go surfing with us. Like, you need to get a break. Like, this is not good. So we go on a surf trip, 2 days in a trip, I crash. And he's got a tattoo, and hold his hands. I remember I focused on his tattoo. That was one thing. So we had a bunch of guys, and we were going surfing. It was Justin from Botchons, Chris from the Foo Fighters, like all these, like Daryl Eaton who runs CAA, like all these like super gnarly guys we're still surf buddies, right? We're still the same dudes, except one guy runs CAA, one's a guitar player for Foo Fighters, one owns Botchons, and my other friend who's there owns 10 McDonald's. Like he's like this, and we're all just grubby surf kids, and we're funny. So they all take off, and I'm late behind them, so I jump on this ATV, pegging it down the beach. Boom, crash. Nobody sees it happen. So I'm laying on the beach. I don't know what's going on. Then they come back, and my friend John turned around. So John Park owns a really good restaurant called Fish 101. If you ever, it's super good. So John, they go, "Where's Paul? He should be here." So at this time, I never knew you had 24 ribs until I broke 19.
Oh shit.
So I have this scar here, Mexico surgery. I have this scar here. I have all these different scars from my lungs were collapsed. I have this scar here that goes from here. So
What did you crash into?
I was looking at the waves like an idiot going fast, and I just, like, the water blows out, creates the little divots in the sand, and I was just looking, and oh shit, and I just drove off something like that high as this table.
Oh my God.
Whoopah! The thing came over and crushed me.
Oh shit.
God.
So I was laying face down, and then the water started coming in, so I was starting to drown because I was like in a couple inches of water. And luckily they got me, and they tried to flip me out, and I remember, "Don't flip me over," because they pulled this, and this whole thing just kind of rolled around my back. Oh. It was crushed, and I was like, "Oh." And then they got me back. So I guess I had died in the driveway, and the kid who I brought to film, Blue, shout out to you. The kid who I brought as a filmer, 22-year-old kid's EMT. Didn't even know.
Wow.
And then my friend Devin, who owns New Greens, he's there. New Greens, shout out to them. They make way better stuff than AG1. New Greens.
Yeah, New Greens.
So Todd Richards, famous snowboarder. I mean, and everyone's just tripping. Like so they call an ambulance, and I'm 7 miles down on the beach. They get a 4-wheel drive truck, get me off the beach, get me to my friend's house, call an ambulance. He's 7 miles on the gnarly dirt road.
Yeah, 7 miles is a long ways to go.
Dude, and so I stopped breathing in the driveway. They throw me in the back of a truck, going down the road. Then my friends told me I was like holding their hands. They kept going, squeeze my hand. I don't remember any of this. And I just go, dude, I just want to close my eyes. And they were like, I was telling them, like, I've lived a good life. I'm good. I'm like, all good. Like, no. And I guess I said, I just want to close my eyes. And I dropped their hands, and my eyes rolled back in my head. And I was like,
shit.
And they're like, they're freaking out, right? So then I remember being in the white room. I was just like, dude, it's so comfortable here. Like nothing goes with you. Nothing goes with you. And I'm in the white room. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I'm like, where am I? This is so weird. Da, da, da. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hear these voices. Boom, back in my body, and now I'm awake.
What the fuck? And you're in the hospital or something?
I'm still in the back of the truck.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I can't breathe because my lungs are collapsed. Yeah. And I'm like, and they're like, give us 5 more minutes, like fight. And they got me to the hospital, and this is in Mexico. And then we go in there, and I just remember being on the gurney, and they're rolling past, and it was like this dirty little hospital, and they rolled me past this one room. I'm like, why am I going past? And they rolled me like in a room like this with but like those black and yellow containers that you get at Costco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this room, and it's like, I guess it's got better lighting. This guy comes in with this little cardboard box, puts gloves on, he's like, oh. And everyone's told me when your lungs are collapsed, the most painful thing is when they have to reinflate your lungs. Oh. So he stabs me, and his finger goes, and he's pulling the ribs out of my, so now I can breathe. I can breathe. I'm like, I can breathe. And then he does it, so now I'm able to breathe. And then they're like, throw me in an ambulance. So they take me to one hospital. And Rick DeVos, who I've been talking about the whole podcast, he's with me, and they go, I'm not letting my friend go to this hospital. So I went to one hospital, and then I went to another hospital, and they turned me away. And because if I take my shirt off, I have like, one thing, funny joke, you guys will like this. What's the difference between a Mexican and Jesus?
What?
Jesus doesn't get Mexicans tattooed on him.
That's funny.
So I have all these crazy, like my whole back's like the resurrection and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Like it's all like, I'm covered. So they're like thinking so they're like not sure if I'm a cartel guy or whatever. And I'm just like tripping. And then so they finally get me in one hospital, and they're like, I have a picture like they're trying to hold me up and x-ray. I'm like crumbled. So all my friends are standing, thank God they all have kids because everyone's getting freaking nuclear bombs as they're x-raying me. And then they finally get to me this other place where they do a CAT scan, and they get the CAT scan. My friends just all look at it. I can see on their face, they're just like, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. There's no way. He's I mean, this was crushed. It was like powder. It's like, this was like a bag of potato chips.
How old were you at this point?
This is 3 years ago, so 57. So I was like, I just put a post up on my Instagram, and then so I tell the guys, so they go, hey, we have to rush him to Acapulco. 6 hours away in an ambulance.
Oh,
We got to get him to Acapulco. So my friend.
That's like the next biggest hospital?
Yeah, they could do the surgery because they didn't have anything to do the surgery that I needed. It's like one of the bigger cities. And I looked at the guys, and Bob Hurley and I always had this pact. If you die on a surf trip, you go in the freezer because you're already dead. Don't end the surf trip.
The waves are hitting. Yeah. We gotta
Why would you? You're dead.
wait, surgery later.
Waves first.
Waves now, surgery later.
100%. Like, that was the deal. So those guys, they're all freaking out. They're just looking at me, and I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm telling you one thing. If you guys don't go surf, I will die. Seriously, it'll kill me that you guys missed the waves. Go surfing. I'll pull this off. So go to Acapulco. I'm supposed to have the surgery. First day I get there, nothing. And everything in Mexico's got to pay up front. Pay up front. Pay up front. They won't touch you until you give them money. So the guys like Guillermo, who's the caretaker of the house, was like taking care of me. I love G. Shout out to you, G Money. And so first day, no surgery. So the second day, I'm really bad. So they come and read me my last rites, and they're praying over me, and I'm just like, dude. And I wouldn't. My family's like, want to fly down. I'm like, don't fly down. Acapulco is like one of the most dangerous cities in the world. I don't want to have to think about you and try to live. Like, just stay home. Guillermo will communicate with you. Another day goes by. And then the girl, like, thank God this girl got on a freaking bus from Mexico City and rode the bus from Mexico City to Acapulco.
Who was posting for you at that time?
Guillermo.
Guillermo? Shout outs to Guillermo.
Yeah, so he was like, because I was trying to because people knew, it was like people knew what was going on. I'm like, and then.
Because he set up a GoFundMe for you too.
My daughter did, because my ATM card got eaten.
Oh, shit.
So this is where it gets, I got a video, it's a crazy video. So then I have my surgery. And like now Guillermo's got to go back to work. I'm in Acapulco. And I'm like, they go, you have to have somebody here with you. I'm in intensive care. I've been out of surgery for like maybe 18 hours. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, I don't have any, my family's not here. I don't even go. And he's like, well, I go, you're just going to kick me out? And they're like, by this time, my daughter's sent a GoFundMe to start paying for my bills. And then, because it was going to Guillermo, and Guillermo was paying. And then I'm like, they bail. I'm like, Guillermo, we're out of here. He's like, what do you mean? I go, take all these machines, put them between my legs, and we're freaking out of here. I'm going to call an ambulance.
You didn't run with the machines?
Dude, I have the video. Oh, shit. I'm all, we're out of here. He's like, I don't know if we can do that. I go, they're not going to chase us to Acapulco. I'm like pretty much like
a vegetable?
I have tubes and I'm just like, dude, let's go. So we wheeled me out, threw me in an ambulance, and we bailed. Drove back to where I was 6 hours back. And I was in the hospital there. Like when you go for a walk in I'll show you these videos. They're gnarly.
Wait, you took an ambulance? Like you hijacked it?
No, he got an ambulance to come get us from.
And you escaped?
I literally escaped. It was so heavy.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember just living normal life, and I saw your post, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I didn't know if it was your daughter or whoever set up the GoFundMe.
It was my youngest daughter.
Yeah. And then both me and Gio sent like $500 each because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. We just knew it was emergency like surgery, and we're like, fuck, it must be really bad if Paul can't even post for himself and it's like someone else posting. That shit was crazy.
Well, this is them like taking tubes out of my lungs.
Dang.
So that was after the surgery, but there's trying to find this one where you go for a walk in the hospital.
This guy's story just keeps going.
Yeah, I'll show it to you guys after, but it's pretty hectic. Of where God, where's the one at Guillermo? Is it this one? I'll have to find it for you guys, but
Hey, we'll just pause it on that
Pause on
cliffhanger so that you can just hold your.
See you the next one, dude. You already know the drill.